but don't want you to talk. I mean, it's fine if it's just people that we know. Hello everybody, welcome back to another stream. Oh, got one like already. Hello John Derwin. So the custom that I've been working on today is a Porg from The Last Jedi. Here is the body. I have to glue on the head once this clay dries. So I am really happy with how this is turning out. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, trying to finish that up. And I also might start my Luke Skywalker. So I'm trying to work on all of my Last Jedi figures. I got these arms that I painted for General Hux. I have his trench coat that I made out of fabric. So I'm going to be working on those customs today. And then any questions that you guys have are welcome. So here's what I have for the base for Luke Skywalker. Now I might make a hairpiece for him. I'm not sure for right now. I think I'm just going to stick with the hood and a cape. So I'm going to bring up a picture of him. Got a filter on. Making a post on Instagram of the stream. So that's to notify people so they can stop by on the stream if they want to. So this is just a new setup that I have. My mom and dad got these shelves, or little cubed sections that I can use. So I just got them in today, put them in there. So I'm going to be working on that, trying to situate everything. So now I'm gonna search up that photo. I think I'm gonna try to finish my General Hux. So here is a picture that I'm going to be basing my General Hux off of. Now what I'm going to do right now is put the arms and trench coat on him and start to paint that one arm with the rings and the First Order symbol. Hello Gaming and Lego Productions. Right now I am working on some of my Last Jedi figures. So the Last Jedi figure that I'm working on right now is a General Hux minifigure. I'm also going to be working on a Porg and Luke Skywalker. So I think this is looking pretty good for General Hux right now. So now I'm going to start to paint those 4 rings and the First Order symbol on this arm. Now if you guys want to know any of my painting methods or what supplies I use, I can either make a video on them or I can show you guys in the stream. One of the tricks that I do use for getting a thin thing to paint with is I take a toothpick and a file and I just start filing down the end. And pretty soon you start getting a nice fine tip. You got to be very careful with this because you can easily make it too thin and it will break off. And you don't want that. So the silver paint that I use is Folk Art Silver Sterling. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to be using that to paint the rings. On the General Hux. Now normally what I would try to do is I would try to paint on screen, but since this is so thin and such a fine detail, I'm just going to do it off camera. So there we go. I got one of the silver rings painted on. Now I got 3 more to do. I'm carefully looking at this image right here to base my General Hux off of. Now right here, I got these 2 rings. They're really close to each other, and they're touching on one side. So what I'm going to do is then take some black paint on my toothpick, and I'm going to go right down through the middle to make it look like 2 separate rings. So the black paint that I use is black Craftsmart paint. Now that's just the regular acrylic paint. I do use from time to time satin and gloss black paint. So here we go. Now the rings look more defined and separate. Now you just keep adding the silver to the correct places, and if you make a mistake, just paint over it. Now you really want to take your time and be patient with this, because this is a harder process if you just rush it, and it's not going to look good if you just rush through it. So I got the third ring painted on. Now it might look a little wide apart, and it's supposed to. If you look at the picture, you can see that there are 4 rings and the 2 middle ones are really close to each other. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint that 4th ring just above the 2 middle ones. So there you go. Now another way that you can go about this is you can paint one thick silver line and then take a toothpick, put some black paint on it, and paint the individual lines in between, and then that will also be a very good way to go about that. Now he does have a first order symbol on the side, so I'm going to look up the first order symbol. Just a picture of that by itself. So this is what the first order symbol looks like in its full colors. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be painting the white first. It might be like a big white hexagon, and then just paint a smaller black hexagon, then a even smaller red hexagon, and then another black hexagon. Paint a white circle, and then attempt to paint this black circle-ish piece. So most of my paints are all the Craftsmart brand. I do have some folk art, and this paint that I found at a Hobby Lobby. It's called Anita's Acrylic, or all-purpose acrylic. So I use that from time to time, but I mostly just use the Craftsmart paint. What am I doing? I am making General Hux from The Last Jedi. I'm just basing it off of the First Order, or the Force Awakens version, because there doesn't seem to be any difference with his Last Jedi attire. So now I got the white hexagon painted. I'm going to let that dry and then continue with the black and red hexagons. Hello everybody. I'm going to be pulling up the chat on my phone. So some of the comments that we got. Hello, I think I'm first. No. Yo John, what's up? It's been a while. Hi. From Respawn Lego. Yes, I made it. What are you doing? And okay, very cool. From Buzz Productions. Here's a quick look at the people who commented on this live stream. So thank you for everyone who is stopping by this live stream. It means a lot. You guys are the ones who keep me going. So what I'm going to be doing now is putting together my Porg minifigure. Bricks and Minifigs just uploaded a video a couple minutes ago. Yeah, I didn't watch the video, but I saw the thumbnail, and it's his First Order Executioner. I would have made that figure by now, but I don't have a First Order Stormtrooper that I can customize, so I will have to wait for that. I'll probably have to get the battle pack to do that. Now, personally, I really like the new First Order Battle Pack, because that, for me, that has, like, pretty much, like, all the figures are useful in that for The Last Jedi. For the First Order Officer, you can make Rose in Disguise, one of the new main characters for The Last Jedi. You can make a First Order Executioner, a regular First Order Stormtrooper, and the First Order Flame Trooper. So that seems to be very nice. So I'm now going to glue this on. Yeah, I will probably make one, but I ran out of black paint, so I'll have to wait. Yeah, it sucks when you run out of a very useful paint. It's one of the worst things in the customizing business. And by business, I mean if you make money from customizing. So I am done gluing the head on for the Porg. Looks very nice. I'm going to be painting this very soon. I'll probably sand down the edges to make the wings look a little more thin and the head a little more smooth, but I'm not sure about that quite yet. Now I just started on this little Porg today. Now there might be a very recognizable piece to LEGO fans, and that's this light gray piece for the majority of the body for the Porg. Now this is one of the lever pieces that I used for it. I just took out the little black piece. I sculpted it in there, and then I cut up a thin piece of plastic that was round. I stuck it in the clay. I glued it down, and the feet I made from this. There's two sides of it, and I just cut it to where it ends, and it makes very good feet for the Porgs. So here's one more look at the Porg while I let it dry and sit, because I just glued the head on and you want it to be very secure before you go painting on it. So here is the general hux that I'm working on. The white hexagon for the symbol is painted on. So now I'm going to use my black paint, which I'm running out of, but it'll last me a good while. So I'm going to shake it up and start painting the smaller black hexagon in the middle. Now it should be fairly easy to do it. So here we go, there's the black painted in, so I'm gonna let that dry and then go on to the red. So to those who have just joined this live stream, what I'm doing is I'm making some of the Last Jedi figures. I have Finn, Rey, and Kylo Ren done. I don't have them with me at the moment, but I'm going to pick them up very soon. I accidentally left it at a relative's house, so hopefully I'll get those back soon. Then I got the Porg, work in progress. The General Hux, work in progress, which he is turning out very good. I also got a Captain Phasma. It's not over in this area right now, but I have that figure in a work in progress state. Now, my Captain Phasma is just like, I guess, a pre-production one. This is most likely going to be the final copy. I am sculpting the chest part first, so I'm probably going to sculpt the rest of the minifigure, then spray paint it with my chrome paint that I got, which looks very good. Here's a test version of it. It's more of a metallic type of chrome, but once it first dries, it looks very nice. Now this is just because it has fingerprints on it, and it makes it look a little more dull. But once I spray paint the Captain Phasma figure, I will real quickly paint the black and then coat it with a clear gloss. This is another figure with that chrome paint. I have a lacquer on it, and if you want to know the lacquer that I used for this minifigure in particular, this is it right here. Winsor and Newton oil color. So this is what I have for it right now. You can also use a spray clear coat, which is what I've been using in the past, and I'll probably use it still. That's very good and useful for sealing your customs. It won't go on too thick if you know how to spray paint properly. Here is another look at the chat. Here's an infinite look of the chat. It goes on forever. I got a smaller phone inside this phone that's on the screen that you're looking at right now. It goes on forever and ever and ever. Look at that. So I am going to go over to Bricks and Minifigs video right here.
This time it is the First Order Executioner from The Last Jedi. So I hand sculpted this minifigure, and this, if you don't know, is actually my first ever sculpted minifigure review. I did make another one, and that character also is in The Last Jedi. And if you've been following my Instagram, you know. You can go follow it right now, bricks_minifigs1078. But anyway, so with this figure, I was debating on doing either metal or sculpting, and with the way the First Order looks doesn't really go with metal, I'd say. So I decided to sculpt it mostly because the knee pad or the shoulder pads go over the middle piece, and I just thought it'd be pretty cool to sculpt a full figure. And this is my second take on a sculpted First Order. Gives more hint on what the first one was.
So those who are new to the stream,
before you guys jump on, the staff,
and
I know the staff actually goes out on each side. This is actually the closed version of the staff. If you look at pictures, you can see that he has it closed sometimes when he's not like fighting someone. But anyway, so this minifigure took around 8 hours, I think, to make. It was a long time. I spent like an entire night on this figure. And I sculpted the entire torso. I'll probably post a before picture before I painted it. I did all the belts. I basically did everything. I revamped this entire minifigure, except for the visor, which is one thing that I did change in the other one. But yeah, you can basically see the difference. It's pretty significant. And there's even painting in between the legs. I'll probably show it right there. Like you can see the little line. That was the only painting in between the legs, I believe. But you know, this back.
So overall, I think that Bricks and Minifigs has a solid minifigure on his hand that looks very nice. Now, there would be a few things that I would change about it. Is that the arms are a little bit bulky, so I would have sculpted a little more thin on the arm so it doesn't look as bulky. And then also on the chest, he just has like one piece, as where for my First Order Stormtrooper work in progress, have 2 pieces for the chest. So that's one thing that I will change about his minifigure, but overall, it's a very, very nice sculpted minifigure. So now I'm going to look up a picture of the ever so adorable Porg. So this is the picture that I am basing my Porg off of. If I can get this to stand here, I might cast a shadow. So here's my sculpted Porg against a picture of a Porg. So it looks pretty nice in comparison to it. So I'm going to be painting this up by the looks of this one. Goodbye, Buzz Productions. Thank you for tuning into the stream. I hope you have a wonderful night wherever you are. So I think I'm going to start off painting the torso part with a white paint. So I'm gonna pour some paint into my tray. Now what I'm using to paint with is a toothpick with some white paint at the tip. So that white paint is drying. So now, is there any questions about how I paint, or just how I got started on painting, or even my favorite food or dessert? Could be my favorite drink. I am open to any questions that you guys have. I should restate that. I am open to most questions that you guys have. So another custom that I have been working on, because I probably have like 50 work in progress minifigures, is this Commander Cody. Now if you saw this on my Instagram or in my stream yesterday, you would have saw a helmet on him. I actually have a Clone Army Customs Commander Cody helmet that's not with me at the moment, so I have turned that helmet into a Commander Bly helmet. Now this isn't completely finished. I have to paint the gray back here and the tan line and the markings on the side, and I have to put in the macros. Let me bring up the chat on my phone, see who is here. If there's anyone in the stream, just say "I" in the comments, and your comment will be shown up here. So I think that's it for the stream today. Thank you for everyone who has joined the stream. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in another video.